Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 3 team selection video from me, Holly Shand, for Fantasy Football Community. Thank you once again for all the support on the videos so far this season. Last week's was very popular. I'm trying to get these out as early as possible for you. So I'm recording this on Sunday evening. We've had 9 out of the 10 Premier League games so far. We've still got West Ham against Leicester City to come on the Monday Night Football. If you are new to the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me. And I'm also doing a little bit more YouTube content for you guys this season. So I did a game week stream last week for game week 2. I'm going to be doing one every week now. I'm going to be doing them on a Tuesday at 6:30 UK time. So my live stream will include looking at my top 5 players for the week and answering your questions in a Q&A as well. So if you make sure you hit the notify button, it will remind you when I'm going live on those. I've also got my videos dropping on the Wolves YouTube channel for FPL Hacks. They're coming every Tuesday as well, so you get double of me on a Tuesday. And I'm also on TikTok at Holly_Shand. I'll drop the link to that in the description below as well so that you can check it out. So then, game week 2. It's been a weird game week. The captaincy, that was the massive debate before the deadline. Do you go Mo Salah? Do you go Bruno Fernandes? I think Mo Salah was captained by nearly 3 million managers, early kickoff, and he was so unlucky not to score in that game. He got a goal ruled out for offside, another potential goal cleared off the line, and I was worried at that point for what Bruno Fernandes would deliver later in the game week. Obviously, Manchester United played today. They didn't keep a clean sheet. Bruno Fernandes got booked and he only got 1 point. So in the end, it didn't really matter too much on captaincy because they both blanked. But it's been a tense week for those that went with Salah captain early on to get that early blank. Other than that, though, my team's performing pretty well so far. I mean, the defence has absolutely smashed it. Sanchez got a clean sheet. The 2 Liverpool defenders, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Tsimikas, both getting an assist and a clean sheet and picking up bonus points as well, which is fantastic. Luke Shaw was the one to let the side down. I was hoping for a full house. The FPL website hasn't quite updated yet, but I think he's got 2 bonus points coming his way, despite not even keeping a clean sheet or getting an attack in return. So that just shows you how good Luke Shaw can be as a fantasy asset this season, even if he isn't banging in the assists and the clean sheets. Rafinha got his goal and looked really impressive for Leeds United. Danny Ings got on the score sheet again with a spectacular bicycle kick. Unfortunately, when Agelzi is on the pitch, he's not on penalties, he's further down the pecking order. Callum Wilson was my other blank. Again, unlucky. He had a couple of chances where he was through clear on goal. He got awarded a penalty and then was deemed to be offside. So it's been a frustrating week as a Callum Wilson owner as well. Bruno Fernandes is probably the most disappointing of the players that have blanked so far, but certainly potential from Salah and Callum Wilson despite blanking. So, team selection then for game week 3. What am I thinking about doing at the moment? Well, I've got 2 free transfers available to me, but I would really like to just use 1 free transfer and carry 2 free transfers through to after the international break, because we're still expecting that there could be some disruption for the international break because players are going to countries that are on the red list in the UK and could have to isolate on their return, including Mo Salah. So this is a bit of a headache for managers. We should get some clarity before the game week 3 deadline. I suspect that the rules will change and, you know, your elite football players will get a buy on this having to quarantine for so many days after being out of the country, but we just don't know yet. So that's one key factor to consider. The other key factor to consider is that there are midweek games for all of the teams that aren't in the Champions League and Europa League this season. We've got the League Cup round 2 going on. Spurs have obviously got their crunch Conference League playoff second leg as well. So lots can change between now and Saturday's deadline. We've got press conferences coming on Thursday and Friday. So we would really encourage everyone to hold on to their transfers and not make transfers until Friday evening or Saturday morning, unless you've got a specific transfer that you really want to do and you know that if players go up or down in price, that could then mean that you're not able to do those transfers. But I think flexibility will be key as the week goes on. I mean, in terms of players I'd like to bring in, I'd love to bring Lukaku in. I think basically every player in my side has done something for me over the course of the first 2 games, other than Harvey Barnes, who's yet to play on Monday. But I think despite what happens on the Monday Night Football, I still need to keep him for game week 3, because in game week 3, Leicester City are taking on Norwich, which obviously is a fantastic fixture. If you look at the goals that Norwich have conceded already, I think it's 8 goals across their first 2 games. So Harvey Barnes is going to be going nowhere. I'm definitely going to hold him for game week 3, and then I could potentially jump up him for game week 4. I'd love to get Romelu Lukaku in. He looked really impressive for Chelsea, got his first start, first goal. The thing for Chelsea is that the fixtures aren't great over the next 4 games. They've got 3 really tough matches against Liverpool, Spurs and Manchester City. So that's something to consider in there as well. Now, say if I wanted to get Lukaku in, I'm just going to transfer him out for Callum Wilson just to give you an idea. I'm like 4 million off, so where am I going to get those funds? Well, I'm not going to transfer out Trent. I guess I could move Shaw down and free up some funds. I could maybe free up some funds in midfield, but it's not going to be easy. I think we're going to have a real headache this season with how to get in the premium players. At the moment, I've got Salah and Fernandes, and I'm happy with them, and I'm not prepared to transfer them out to get Lukaku in. I could play the wild card at the international break if I wanted to. And this is something to consider if Salah isn't available for game week 4. Obviously, a tougher fixture in game week 3 against Chelsea. That could open the door for making moves to maybe go Salah out, Lukaku in, or even Harry Kane. I'm not really that interested in Harry Kane until after the international break, when the transfer window's closed, and you know we can properly analyse how good a player he's likely to be for us this season. But another player that I'd love to own, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's been fantastic in the first 2 games. He's really been smashing the stats for, you know, shots on target, 2 goals in 2 games, and he's on penalties now, which is really exciting. It's just another string to his bow in terms of points that he can deliver. He was on fire at the start of last season. He started this season in the same sort of form. And Everton have brought in Andros Townsend and Damari Gray, who are running things on the left wing and the right wing, getting plenty of crosses into the box for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to get on the end of. So I think he's going to be a fantastic option. He was on my pre-season drafts for a long time, until a little knock put me off him late into pre-season. But look at those fixtures. Brighton, Burnley, Villa, Norwich in the next 4 games. Then they've got Manchester United. Then after that, West Ham, Watford, Wolves. It's like fantastic fixtures. Now, how am I going to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin in even? Maybe Callum Wilson will go. But again, it's going to take me a couple of transfers to get him in, because I'm not about to sell Danny Ings to get Calvert-Lewin in. I think if you're shopping for a new forward and you're choosing between Ings and Calvert-Lewin, Calvert-Lewin is the one to go for. But you shouldn't be selling Ings to get Calvert-Lewin in. Now, the other player that impressed me in game week 3 was Jack Grealish. He's missed just 16 minutes over the course of the first 2 games. He got his goal. Now, yeah, there was a bit of good fortune with that goal, but he was in the right place on the edge of the 6-yard box to sort of get that ball in the back of the net, however it went in. And Manchester City this week have got Arsenal at home, which is actually a really good fixture when you look at how Arsenal are performing defensively at the moment. 8 million for a ticket into that Manchester City side. He could be a great option as well. At the moment, I've got no easy way of getting him. So what am I going to do transfer-wise? Well, if there aren't any injuries, then the one thing I'm actually considering doing Tsimikas is on borrowed time now. Obviously, it's Chelsea at home up next, but the thing to bear in mind is Robertson was in the squad for game week 2. I'm pretty sure that Robertson is going to start game week 3. I think Tsimikas, his run in the Liverpool team is over. I don't mind though, because he's got 17 points across 2 games. We've already had one price rise, so I'm hoping he'll go up in price, but I'm thinking of maybe swapping Tsimikas out for another defender that's 4 million. And I know I've got the wild card there to use at some point if I want to, but I'm trying to approach the next game week like I'm not going to wild card into the international break. So trying to roll so that I've got 2 free transfers for the international break and give myself as much flexibility as possible, because we've always also got players like Greenwood and Jota. Jota's been very good so far, got 2 goals in 2 games. Obviously shares minutes with Firmino, which is a bit of a worry. But if I've got Tsimikas in my team, it's going to be very difficult to get Jota in my team. And with no obvious underperforming players at the moment, maybe getting Tsimikas out. Now, I could get Shane Duffy in. Now, the thing is, the fixtures are getting a little mixed for Brighton, and the other thing to consider as well is when Dan Burn comes back, I think that will push Duffy out. I think when Veltman returns, I don't think that's going to affect Duffy's minutes, but when Burn comes in, it will. The other option would be Livramento at Southampton. Southampton weren't too far off keeping a clean sheet today. The only problem is, like, you look at that Southampton defence, there's no, like, obvious names in there that you know. It's all fairly new and, you know, they've been so inconsistent defensively over the course of the last couple of seasons that it is a risk, but it could be a wise move just to free up that Liverpool slot in my squad. But I need to get the price rise out of Tsimikas first of all. So, again, I wouldn't buy Tsimikas this week either for similar reasons. So, looking at my team then for game week 3, obviously, I'm not going to start Tsimikas. I'm probably not going to start a replacement as well, whether that be Duffy because he's got Everton, or even, I guess I could play Livramento, but I think Luke Ayling away at Burnley is a good enough fixture. And then Salah, Rafinha, Fernandes, Barnes. There's some good fixtures in there other than Salah's fixture at home to Chelsea is a bit of a tricky one to predict. And then the front 3 is Ings, Wilson and Antonio. I can't see that lineup changing too much, but as I've said, there's a lot going on in the midweek games, which is going to make things a bit more challenging for us. In terms of the captaincy, some real headaches in here. I mean, Mo Salah's well placed. Bruno Fernandes away at Wolves could be a good fixture for him because we know how good Bruno Fernandes is away from home. Obviously, he blanked in game week 2 though. Rafinha's got a good fixture. Harvey Barnes, if he does something in game week 2, he could be a captaincy shout for me in game week 3. Could also easily give it to Ings, Wilson or Antonio. I like to keep the captaincy on a premium player though, which is probably why I'll go with Bruno Fernandes and Salah vice-captain. I like to keep captaincy simple with the players that tend to perform at the start of the season, and then I may move it around a bit towards the end of the season. I think the other options would probably be Son or Kane at home to Watford, but there's still question marks with Kane, and Son looked like he got a little bit of a knock in game week 2, so that's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, Spurs have got their Conference League playoff game on Thursday, so we'll know a bit more about Son's availability before that game. Lots to consider there then. If you've got any questions or dilemmas, please do get in the comments of this video and I'll do my best to answer all of them. Remember, you can also find me this week, Tuesday, 6:30 PM on this channel for my live stream Q&A and top 5 players for Game Week 3 video, and on FPL Hacks on the Wolves YouTube channel with my Game Week 3 feature video, and also on TikTok as well. Get yourself in the description of this video to get the link for that. Thank you very much, everyone. Please like, subscribe, hit that notify button so you don't miss the live stream, and good luck for FPL Game Week 3.